This is what happens when you buy a warehouse. It does things to you.
Welcome to McCribs. This is my McCrib.
Hello, it's been a while. I'm BJ, this is Chester, and we've been making videos together for 10 years? Has it really been 10 years? Okay, we've been making videos together for 10 years, apparently. If you're wondering what we've been up to for the past, oh dear. This video hopefully will explain a few things to you. But first, if you're new to the channel, here's a brief history of how we got here and why Chester is starting his own production company. In 2014, we started a YouTube channel together. We made all kinds of videos, some of them good, most of them bad. And then throughout our high school years, we became increasingly interested in short films and filmmaking in general. We made a bunch of films and film series. After finishing school, I moved to Sydney to study dance, and Chester started a graphic design course. We made a few more videos and short films in our spare time, but that's pretty much all we had time for. Then, in 2020, after completing our various study courses, we started a podcast called Dark Tides, together with Chester's brother, Aubrey. The podcast has taken over most of our time and creative energy away from making films, mostly because it's a lot easier to tell longer and more involved stories, and we've just been really enjoying it. We've released 3 seasons of the show so far, along with I don't even know how many hours of spin-off series and bonus content. Meanwhile, Chester had got a job at a graphic design company, and I had moved into working as a dancer and a videographer for a couple different film companies. The podcast was going well, but we were recording in a spare bedroom at Aubrey's house, which we were even starting to hire out for clients to use our equipment, and the setup just really wasn't ideal, especially if we wanted more clients and stuff like that. So it was beginning to become clear that we needed a dedicated recording space. But with me doing video work through other companies most of the time, and Aubrey wanting to focus on writing, he and I both weren't really in a place to go all in on a studio space together. So Chester decided to start a brand new production company on his own called Heath Studios. And that leads us, finally, to today.
This is where I sleep. This is where I rest my feet.
Wait, on the lounge or on the...
No, on the board.
Of course.
Welcome. This is Heath Studios, the work in progress. It's our podcasting company, or my podcasting company. So it's still very much a work in progress. We've got this room, which is the least done. This is going to be an art studio type of space, and eventually it's going to be another set. We've been in for a bit over a month, 5 weeks, something like that, building these different sets, which you'll see in a second. This is our little street view. We've got 2 car parks through there, got 2 cars. Put this bad boy in. It's being held here with bits of wood and nothing else.
You're gonna fix that though, right?
I'll fix that soon. Anyway, here is all of my work. We have the biggest set. This is called the Warwick set. My vision for it was like a Downton Abbey style office, a old English study. We've got the different desk area. So this is mostly made for our podcast Dark Tides and other D&D type scenarios. So you've got the DM's table.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to sit right there and subject my players to all sorts of unfair wizardry.
And not be respected at all.
Yep.
Then we've got the main kind of player location, the comfy spot.
Damn!
Got a little travel chest.
Yeah, this is gorgeous.
Really cute.
And we were saying before how like the cushions that you got matches the brass on here, matches the lamp, matches like the brass on the chair, like it's all
And then
really
you got
cool.
this little corner.
Which I reckon like that, like if I put the camera like right like there, like that's a one-person discussion book review podcast.
And
or a YouTube video, like people could record YouTube series there.
You've got the cool background, it's got a bit of like a 70s type of feel to it. Then you've got this, which is one of our coolest little finds. We didn't, outside of the construction materials for building the walls and all that, we didn't spend any money really on this set. $100 a year, a couple $100 there. But all the furniture was either given to us or we already had. This was free, so that type of stuff. In the area we live, there's quite a Facebook community for like giving away stuff, and we live in a very rich area, so the stuff that's given away is very nice. They were going to chuck this, if we didn't come and pick this up, they were going to chuck it on the tip the next day.
I can't believe that. It's so beautiful.
And some work you could get running again, and
Yeah.
it's made in Australia. It's got the different
Really?
states listed here.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice that.
Shortwave radio.
So
Yeah, so that's the main set. So this is the kind of 4 to 5 person set. Through here, we have the 3-person set, which is the earnest set. Warwick set is the earnest set. So this one was designed to look a bit more, my vision for it was a bit beachy, a bit more coastal, a Brady Bunch set, or Happy Days, that's it. A bit more Happy Days.
Yeah, but it still looks modern enough that like you can pull off a modern setting, you can pull off a vintage setting. Like it's quite timeless actually, which is cool.
Yeah, it was quite nice. We got these couches for $100. This couch and this one, they're custom made ones, and they've got this little green detailing, which has worked great with so much of the little detailing we've been able to put into the space. The table has a slight green hue to it as well. So just little things like that have worked.
And the whole Heath Studios thing, you're going for like green and cream, right? That's the branding, which I will say, check the fit.
So then we put a divider wall up between these two. And this is the 2-person set. This is the Alistair set. So this is a bit more modern feeling, a bit more kind of urban, kind of aggressive. I actually quite like it. I really like the Warwick set because I put a lot of work and a lot of time into that one. But this one has been like the most effortlessly good looking one.
I reckon like all of your promotional stuff and all of your like film and photography will be all over here. And then this is the one that most people are going to book.
Yeah, I even look at the piping up there. I was like, how the hell are we going to deal with all this? And then it's just come up looking so good.
And you literally just painted everything black, right? Even the floor is just painted concrete.
Yeah, I covered like the important stuff up there with tape so that you can access everything.
Good.
The rest of it's just matte paint in black. But yeah, so this is for the kind of 2-person set. Term would probably be a more masculine set.
Like talk shows.
Like talk show stuff, 2 individuals.
This is all set up for live streaming.
Yeah.
So people could totally just hire that as a live stream setup and just like log into their Twitch on their laptop or whatever.
Yeah.
Have an iPad for. Actually, that's true. We could have a. Let's figure out how we can.
You can just get a second monitor.
Yeah,
on
true.
the arm, just spin it around. Anyway, but yeah, as you were saying, with the table, so out of everything that's been the most expensive, this table.
Not the table. The table we got for free from Aubrey.
No, the table was our old recording table that we then cut down very haphazardly.
It's no longer a schwovel. It's
longer a
just
schwovel.
a table.
We have the, I had all these issues with audio interface stuff because we're doing live streaming stuff. I was like, well, we need an audio interface to be able to record everything individually, but then we also need a mixer for all of our like live stuff. And then literally, I immediately then found on YouTube Short.
A what?
A YouTube Short, the most useless place for information ever.
Nobody watches YouTube Shorts
It just
these
popped
days.
up. It does everything. It records to an SD card. It records to a computer. It can connect up with the. Oh my God! I won't explain too much more of our process because I don't want you to be able to steal it. Those are brand secrets. Ignore my pile of cardboard.
Damn!
It's been a long time since we've done a setup tour.
I know, right?
Back on the old YouTube days.
That reminds me, we got to figure out what we're going to do with the CMB Corp channel.
Yeah.
That could become, if you want to take that over, that could become the Heath Studios.
Probably make more sense because that's where we actually be making video content for.
Anyway.
Yeah, so as you can see, this is everything from above.
It looks so cool from
So
up here.
it's. I keep feeling like it's small, but it is quite large, the amount of stuff that we've done.
Well,
in
and
5 weeks, 4
also,
weeks.
keep in mind, like, that half feels not massive, but then you also got to remember that, like, there's a whole area here. So
Yeah.
you've crammed 3 sets into half a warehouse, and you had to build all of that from scratch. So, like, all of these wall frames and things are more or less freestanding and just pinned to the floor and the wall, right?
Floor and wall, yeah. Dynabolts. Power of Dynabolts. So we've got one set area here, one desk area. This is for my wife and for our future editor to kind of go in. And as Danae kind of needs it less, we'll get a second editor or a production manager or anything like that. And then we've got my office.
This is so cool. Let me fix my white balance. All right, hey, we're back.
Yep, so this is my office. This is my epic minimalist phase, as I've described it.
It looks so good.
It was pretty good. I've got all my SpongeBob comics up. I bought these.
Feels like home.
Yeah, it does. I bought these like 5 years ago, something like that. I just bought a heap of them because they were like $1 each. And I just bought them because they all had the coolest cover designs. And so now I got an opportunity to put a bunch of them up.
I did wonder where you got them from.
The majority, if anyone saw my old live stream stuff, the majority of my original background was designed to look like the Warwick set down there. But now most of that is in the Warwick set, so I've had to kind of fill this with different random stuff.
And also, it's your studio, so if you want to live stream and no one's using it, you just go downstairs.
And then this is the kind of second area. We'll eventually probably have a vocal booth in here or something like that.
Because the mixer you got is also for music, right?
Yes.
Like we can use it for that. Yeah.
More likely than not, what we'll do is if things are successful, we'll open up a second location and do bands and music production out of there.
Awesome.
Rather than trying to just cram this place full of stuff and make it really like nasty and like...
Because I guess people will have
claustrophobic.
a very different set of requirements for...
Yeah, and I have no experience with any of that, so I'd need to hire someone that understands music production. And then this is another couch that we found from a local place. TV that I'll hook up to my computer, and it'll be just a place to show clients different video stuff, different stuff that we can do, and mostly to play Halo.
The Halo chair. Very important.
Very important.
Priorities.
And this is the big planning war that I'm going to start planning my shows on, podcast shows that I want to do over the next year or two. Normally I go for walks and I like think about creative ideas and all that stuff. I don't even have time to go for walks at the moment. I haven't been thinking about anything creative. It's just
You've literally been here like every day.
gotta build this, gotta build that. I get home at like midnight, 1 o'clock, get here at 7.
So how long has it been? You're mostly set up now.
Yeah, the end of this week, fully set up, fully going.
So how long has it been since you like first got the keys?
I think at the end of this week, it'll be 5 weeks. Okay, yeah, 4 weeks. About 4 weeks.
It's a lot of progress you've made in 4 weeks.
Yeah. We didn't have anything. Nothing had arrived from Amazon. Nothing, like we didn't have anything when we got the place. I didn't have a ute till a week into doing all this, so I couldn't even move things in. All I could do was Danae's SUV had enough room to put a 2.4 meter length of wood in. I could put 10 of those running from the edge of the boot all the way to pressing against the front console. I could do a pile of 10 of those.
So if you're watching along at home, you get one guess as to how tall that wall down there is.
That's 2.4 meters. I refused to cut it because I was like, that's just going to make my life so much easier if I don't cut it. That was the majority of it, as I did all the framing then because I couldn't do anything else. And I did a lot of like that other wall there is lined with core flute because I could get 900 by 600 mil core flute to fit in the car.
Way cheaper than MDF or like plywood or something too.
I actually don't think it probably was cheaper in the long run.
This is just your life now. It's just maths and pricing, isn't it?
Oh, I am absolutely horrible at like maths, planning anything out.
Homeschool.
I've had to get better at it. My older brother, because he runs a company that's all like it's food creation, like making food. So it's all very exact percentages of salt and all that type of stuff. And I was like, you were terrible at maths. So yeah, I had to become good at it. And I've had to become good. Like I've been doing the whole like just drawing things out on MDF, a spare bit of MDF. Hasn't helped that I haven't had a pencil or a pen at this place.
When I was
this
helping
entire
him the other
time,
week,
so I've been using it with like a nail.
Pencil, and like we used that because I was like, how do you not have a pencil?
I've been scratching it out with a nail. It's like, okay, so I mean, I can almost see what that is.
My blueprints.
Yeah, and you can tell this is how it sounded. Like it sounded a lot worse than this when we first moved in. But when you're down there, there's basically no echo.
For a giant warehouse that like, I mean, the top of these walls are so high that you can't reach there anyway. It sounds amazing. Like
Yeah.
for what it is, it's pretty good.
All we need to do now is get the place running. In May, we're getting our first employee. So I need to get a pretty dope PC together for that. So yeah, we're gonna go PC.
Cool.
I'll probably take my graphics card because I've got a 2080 Ti.
What? That's probably not even impressive these days, but
No, it's really not.
it feels impressive.
It's fine. That's all
pretty good.
he'll need. And I'll probably get myself I don't know, 4080 or something like that.
Yeah.
Just because I really want to play Alan Wake with ray tracing.
Oh, just a 4080.
Just 4080.
I've been watching Linus Tech Tips. Makes me want to build another computer, and I don't need or want another PC.
Anyway, that's the whole place.
Cool. I gotta go to work now.
Yeah, I gotta go work. So, BJ, why are we here today?
Well, I'm here to we've been troubleshooting video and audio issues with the new setup. So we're recording this through the system, the desk system, the patented top secret desk system at Heath Studios.
We're not allowed to show on video. I've put so much money and so much time into this desk. I'm not showing it. So this is Heath Studios. This is my, production company. So it is the location, first, the space that we're in right now is the production studio. So this is where we rent out, someone is calling me. So this is where clients come and record their own podcasts, webinars, live streams, interviews, all that type of stuff. We offer them a space where they can get 3 cameras recording at once, 1080p, HD, highest quality microphones you can really get for in a public way. Like the only way you're going to get better quality microphones than this really is going
Like
extraordinarily high-end private studios.
Or it's a professional music studio,
Or,
in which case I don't even know how much you pay to hire that place. I don't want to know.
Yeah. So usually it's like a couple grand for a day, which is a different business model. So we're more on the hourly basis. There's an explosion of this type of industry in the Highlands where we're operating. There's multiple things opening up. We're the first, which is nice.
Yeah, okay.
So it doesn't look like I'm stealing everyone else's ideas. But from the sound of things, most people are in the spaces of. I was talking to a client about it today. Most people are either in the space of music, entirely music, or audio, or video.
Yeah.
We're in all 3. So we've got a bit of a lead with that. It's quite helpful because we also do like photography and all that type of stuff. So if we're more interested in growing relationships with individuals, with creatives, with businesses and all that, and then just being frequent customers because they know that they can always rely on us. It's more, let's work out a package, let's work out a year of like consistent stuff with you. It's about showing these people that you care about their project as much as they do and that you're going to support them through it. In our type of industry, everyone's looking for creative partners, people that they know will treat their darling the same way that they would.
Yeah, and if it's something like a podcast, a video podcast, maybe even a YouTube series, like people recording chat videos or something,
the person wants to know that you're going to
help them grow their
but also
platform,
you're
right?
going to be
Like,
there. You're not going to get 5 episodes into this podcast and then be like, oh, sorry, we're booked out for a month.
Yep.
You can't record, and now they're behind on their release schedule.
or their quality goes from like a nice background to now suddenly they're recording in a different room or with different equipment. So, and it's kind of the natural evolution from what we started with the podcast many years ago now, I guess. Or 3 years ago? 3 and a bit?
3 and a bit. It's the evolution of a few different things because the main thing is this isn't everything we do. We're a production company, so we're making a bunch of new shows. We have different writers, different leads and all that type of stuff. We're moving into editing, so video editing and all that. The purpose of this company is to be a creative production place of like artists making cool stuff and not having to worry about the money. Stuff I just told you about, that's all just the money side. That's just the stuff that we do because we have to pay rent.
Yes, because rent is expensive.
Rent is expensive here. So that's that stuff. The purpose of the company is to make cool stuff and for people to be able to make stuff without having to worry about an editor or a producer or contracts or
buying a bunch of microphones and then like we had to do a couple of years ago, picking a room in your house that you now can't use as a bedroom and setting it up as a recording set.
And spending hundreds of dollars a month on Adobe and all that type of stuff. Yeah, I had a bunch of graphic designers in here, and we all had like a 5-minute. We just were talking business, 5-minute whinge about Adobe, business.
Yep. The company I'm working with now, we have the same thing, except we're all using Blackmagic. And it's the opposite. It's like business, 5-minute ranting about how much we love Blackmagic software. Back to business.
Anyway. Yeah, and then the other thing is kind of back on this desk, the other purpose of it is ever since we started YouTube, we've talked about this a few times, ever since we started YouTube, we were always up against it of trying to find a recording software that worked, trying to find like a decent microphone that sounds okay.
Having to set up our lights every time.
Every single time. We've got to use a DSLR camera for our webcam so we look as good as Jacksepticeye, but it only lasts for 30 minutes, so our recordings need to be broken up like this, and then we have to do multiple resyncs, and then we're recording with Audacity, and Audacity crashed, and we're using Bandicam, and Bandicam has a 10-minute time limit for the recording. So like,
this is so difficult.
We spent 10 years just like heads against the grind post trying to create different ways of streamlining our production. And that's what this entire business is like. I've gotten to the stage now where the rest of the world is caught up with like, oh, we can make a recording software that works, and we can make cameras that record for longer than 30 minutes. So that's great. But now it's about taking it to the point where it's like, I want to walk into this place and push one button, and everything looks as good as if there was a videographer like here an hour ago, and the sound sounds as good as if there's a sound guy in the room. And it's easy, it's simple, anyone can do it. Like, that is my entire focus. That's why I achieved it with my streaming setup like a year ago, and now it's been about everything else in my production life of this will be seamless.
And then the added benefit of when you finish for the day, you don't then have to pack everything up, spend an hour putting it away so that you can like make dinner because you've set it up in your kitchen or something. It's like you just shut it down, turn it off, and go home, and then come back the next morning.
We would be making short films, and 3/4 of our time would be pack up, set down, pack up, set down.
Yeah.
Move it from one room, move it to another room.
Yeah, like
realize we need to redo this shot, set it back up. Like,
your take is maybe 30 seconds long, and you do 2 takes, and that's like 4 hours of setup.
Yeah,
it's like, I think it.
And that's without doing key light stuff and all.
Yeah, and then you watch it back, and you're like, oh, the lighting is terrible because we didn't have time to make it look good.
Yeah,
and you can suffer through that for a certain extent, but
10 years.
Like, you know, when you're making a short film, maybe, but when you're just trying to do talking head stuff like we're doing now, like, I mean, you know, back in the day, we would have spent 2 hours setting this up in our living room.
Yeah.
And then you'd go home, and then I'd spend 2 hours packing it down again. And by that point, I'm like, I don't want to edit that. Like, that took all day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's also,
cool.
you then also have a financial thing of it in the back of your mind, because you're like, well, like, I made this much from this recording, but I spent 6 hours around the recording.
Yeah.
So now I haven't made any money.
So your hourly rate ends up being like $5 an hour or something.
And stuff like that. So you're like, well, I can't put the price up because it's the whole thing. You care about the person you're working with, and you care about like how they're spending their money. But it's like, I can't eat that cost, and my employees can't eat that cost.
Yeah, I can't pay for food now.
Yeah. So it's progress. But no, so that's been like my main goal of the business was making a space for creatives that's cool, and then also making it so that we can faff around with equipment as little as possible.
Yep. So we should probably explain, we're currently sitting at one end of the Warwick set, which you can't really see it on the camera, but it extends over there. There's like a desk and a bookshelf and
Which
stuff.
is the nicest part, but we never use it.
It is the nicest part. I tell Chester that when I'm DMing my show later this month, I demand to sit at that desk, and I don't care how many microphones we have to move.
It's the DM desk. I just
desk.
need to drill a hole in it so that I can put the microphone stand.
That's literally all that's missing. So that's the Warwick set, and then we have 2 other sets over there behind camera. So we have the Ernest set, which is over there, which is kind of a 70s beach house vibe.
Go to heathstudios.com.au. You can see pictures.
Yeah. And
the video.
And then the room where the camera desk is currently in, if we were to flip around, is the Alistair set, which is a 2-person, very cyberpunk, everything's black, matte black everything, like a 2-person talking head set as well. So they're all available for podcast hire, live stream. You can just book it for a photo shoot.
We've got a musician who's wanting to just kind of record stuff. We're going to put in a few other recording spaces as well. We're going to do a vocal booth upstairs for musicians, and we're going to put a more personal kind of interview room back there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So on the wall there, you know, like those nature walls? Just because you're dealing with different brands, so you need to offer different spaces that can kind of work with the brand.
Fit with whatever they're trying to achieve.
Yeah, so you keep it normal enough, but each of them different enough so that something will work with a brand.
Yeah, so that's the hope. Yeah, so I will obviously link to the website in the comments section or in the description or somewhere.
Yep.
There'll be a link somewhere. If you happen to live in the area and you need a set for any of these things, check out Heath Studios.
And give us money so that we can make.
Please give us money.
So we can make more
We
fun
need
things.
A lot of money.
So because we're meant to start doing short films again, apparently.
Yes.
Apparently, that's
Yes, we were chatting about that the other day. We were like, now that we've like spent a bunch of time learning how to do video and audio like properly, unlike when we were teenagers.
No, you've learned how to do video better. I've entirely
Yep.
lost all of my video knowledge, and I've entirely learned audio.
I spent like quite a bit of time writing a checklist to teach Chester how to use these cameras, which he bought himself. And he's like, I don't know how to use them.
the camera I've had for like 5 years.
We might
I
have
basically use cameras like webcams now.
Yeah.
Set and forget. That's good enough.
which is good, except he can't do the set part. He only does the forget part.
Now
so
that it's set, I'm gold.
that's why he brings me in. I would say he paid me in coffee, but actually I paid for the coffee. So.
I offered.
I'm self-funded. I'm independently poor.
I'm an entrepreneur. In the way that I hemorrhage money.
Check out Heath Studios. It's pretty cool. I really like being here. I'm just going to come in and record my YouTube videos here now.
That's the point.
That's literally the point. If you're in the Southern Highlands area of New South Wales and you're looking for a space to film videos or record podcasts, run live streams, or even just a photography space, check out Heath Studios. There's a link to the website in the description, and we would love to meet you and help you make things.